So, welcome to another episode in this licensure examination for agriculturist review. So, for this episode, we will be talking about plant anatomy. So, ito naman, in the last episode, we talked about plant morphology, kung ano yung external. Now, we will talk about plant anatomy or yung internal structure. So let's start by defining it. So plant anatomy is the study of the internal structure of plants encompassing tissues, cells, and their arrangement within organs. So the cellular structure of plants are composed of the cells and tissues, the vascular tissue, and the dermal tissue. So cells and tissues, we have the meristematic tissue, which are actively dividing tissue responsible for plant growth. So ito, if you're familiar with the term meristem, so meron tayo apical meristem, which is yung sa taas naman, then meron din yung sa root meristem naman, kung paano lumalaki yung mga roots natin at mas humahaba sila. So kapag sinabi lang natin na meristem, so apical meristem or ano ba, basta meristem, ganun. Ang ibig sabihin lang nun doon ay meron dong actively dividing na cells. Kaya lumalaki yung ating mga halaman. So ayun ay meristem. So meristematic tissue, plant apical, shoot apical meristem, root meristem, yung mga terms na yan. So it means na merong actively dividing cells doon. So next is permanent tissue. So permanent tissue are mature, so specialized plant tissue that perform specific functions throughout the plant's life. So yung meristematic tissue, they are responsible for plant growth. Kapag permanent tissue naman, ang ibig sabihin lang neto ay nakapag-differentiate na yung mga cells na nandoon. Ibig sabihin, pagka-grow nila, 'di ba, cell division, ganyan. Pagka-grow na nila, meron na silang different task na kailangan. So, ito yung mga ilan sa mga types ng mga permanent tissues. We have parenchyma. So, ang parenchyma, they are thin-walled cells for storage and photosynthesis. So, the keyword will be thin-walled cells. Next naman is yung collenchyma, which are flexible cells for support in young plants. So thin-walled cells ang parenchyma, flexible cells ang collenchyma, and we have sclerenchyma, which are thick-walled cells for mechanical support, fibers, and protection yung sclerids natin. Ayun. So again, parenchyma, thin, collenchyma, flexible cells, sclerenchyma, thick-walled cells. Then we have our vascular tissues. So sa vascular tissues, we have xylem and phloem. So xylem conducts water and minerals from roots to shoot, and it provides structural support. So again, if you will look back at the last episode, sinabi natin doon na ang stem, it is responsible for the conduction. So ito na, if we will look deeper or in an inner perspective, ito ang mga nag-act na dito ay yung xylem, tas yung ating phloem or yung mga vascular tissues natin. So ang lagi kong sinasabi dito para mas matandaan nila ay phloem, food. So, ang sabi dito, phloem transport organic compounds, masyadong, ano 'di ba? Like masyadong parang, grabe organic compounds na. Pero sugars, amino acids, yung sugars natin diyan, parang ayun lang yung food na inaakyat ng ating vascular tissues. So, ang phloem, it transports food or yung mga sugars, carbohydrates, yung mga yan. They somehow pertain to one thing, which is yung ating food. Ayan, throughout the plant. Again, xylem, water, and phloem ay yung ating mga organic compounds or yung food. Kapag sinabi, it transports carbohydrates, again, phloem yun, kasi yung carbohydrate, siya yung food. So, more of that, kapag punta tayo sa crop physiology, wherein I will discuss more on the photosynthesis and the respiration ng plants. So then we have our dermal tissue. So sa dermal tissue, we have epidermis, or the outermost layer of cells covering plant surfaces. Then we have cuticle, or the waxy layer on the outer surface of the plant of the epidermis, which reduces water loss and protecting against pathogens. So ito yung mga ilan sa mga dermal tissues. Ayan. So itong mga to, sila lang yung nandun sa outermost layer ng ating mga plant surfaces. Ayan. So now, what are the adaptations in plant morphology and anatomy? So we have structural adaptations, we also have physiological adaptations, and we have the behavioral adaptations. So let us start with structural adaptations. So these are physical features of plants that enhance their survival and reproduction in specific environments. So we have root adaptation. So let's say, for example, yung taproots natin, they are developing for deep water absorption in arid regions. So parang ang nangyayari kasi, 'di ba meron tayong root meristem. So doon doon yung point kung saan mas lumalaki yung ating mas humahaba or mas nag-grow yung ating roots. So in arid regions, the tendency of crops is to develop tap roots na maghahanap ng tubig. So that's how our plant cells or the system doon sa loob ng ating plants communicate na parang hala, wala tayong tubig. Sige, lumaki ka pa, humaba ka pa, ganyan. So those are just some of the adaptations that they have. So tap roots for deep water absorption. Next is leaf adaptations. So kapag naman sa leaf adaptations, most of the time, nagkakaroon ng mga thick cuticles yung ating mga halaman na prone sa water loss. Parang ganon. So thick cuticle and reduced surface area in xerophytes to minimize water loss. So these are adaptations na hindi naman nangyari na instantly na ganun, but throughout time, throughout their evolution processes, ito yung mga nade-develop nila. So, ayan. We also have stem adaptations. Let's say, for example, thorns and spines for protection against herbivores. So, ayan yung mga structural adaptations. Next, we have naman the physiological adaptations. So internal processes and biochemical mechanisms that enable plants to thrive in different conditions. So we have water-saving mechanisms. For example, CAM and C4 photosynthesis in succulent plants and grasses in hot, dry climate. So let's say for example, kapag titingnan natin, 'di ba yung karaniwan ng picture ng cactus ay nasa desert, 'di ba? Doon ay hot and dry climates. So if we will look at its type of photosynthesis, so it is actually under CAM. Ayun. So ayun ang kanyang type of photosynthesis. Ayun. Kapag naman, which is temporal. Kapag sarabing temporal, naka-divide yung kanyang mechanism sa time. So more of this kapag punta tayo sa physiology. And yung C4 naman, ito yung merong mga bundle sheets which is more on the spatial naman. Parang divided yung cells niya into two, parang ganun. Kaya may bundle sheets, merong compartment, ganyan. So yung C4 naman, ang isa sa example niyan ay yung corn natin. Ayun. So kaya yung corn natin, it can survive hot climates. If you will notice, yung corn ay tinatanim kapag summer, ganyan, kasi it can survive that condition kasi nga C4 plant siya. Then we also have salt tolerance. So exclusion or secretion of salts in saline environment. So these are just some of the physiological adaptations. So itong portion na to, it is somehow connecting our discussion na towards physiology. So in the next videos, we will be leaning more towards crop physiology na. Then we also have the behavioral adaptations, or what we commonly know as tropism. So these are directed growth responses of plants to external stimuli. So let's say, for example, we have phototropism. So this is growth towards light to optimize photosynthesis. So if you will notice, kapag magtatanim siguro kayo ng i-try nyo magtanim ng munggo, tas ilagay nyo sa may bintana, it is more likely na magbe-bend siya towards the light. So that is what we call phototropism. We also have gravitropism, root growth downwards and stem growth upwards in response to gravity. So these are behavioral adaptations in response to gravity We also have tropism, which is the response naman sa touch. Ayan. Ang example dito sa Philippines ay makahiya or yung ating mimosa pudica. And now, let us look at the applications and the importance of knowing this. Ayun. So first, we have agriculture and crop improvement. So knowing these things, the morphology, identification, and also this anatomy, uh, can enhance crop productivity, resiliency, and quality because pagkarating naman natin sa crop production natin, malalaman natin na itong mga to connected to doon na, kaya pala ganito yung ginagawang uh, special production practices kasi ito yung kanyang characteristics. So yon. So in line with that, selecting and breeding plants with desirable traits, let's say for example, disease resistance and yield, and optimizing cultivation practices such as irrigation, fertilization based on plant anatomy and even morphology. So yon. Mapagkoconnect natin yan when we go to crop production and management. Ayan. So ecological implications, the study of the role of plant structure and function in ecosystems and their interactions with other organism and the environment. So this has a lot more implication when we go to plant breeding. So how is the environment really important when it comes to really maximizing and producing a crop na merong desirable na phenotype. So more of that when we go to plant breeding and understanding carbon sequestration and nutrient cycling. We will go to that in nutrient management, assessing impacts of environmental changes like climate change on plant communities. So these are just some of the ecological implications. We also have the medicinal uses and botanical studies. So exploration on plant anatomy and biochemistry for medicinal purposes as and scientific research. So we can discover new pharmaceutical compounds. So let's say, for example, from secondary metabolites such as the total phenolics, the antioxidant activities that the plants have. So it is important na alam natin kung ano yung mga possible na pwede nila maging gamit and to also understand plant evolution and biodiversity. So ilan lang yan sa mga pahapyaw ng mga next na magiging episodes natin for crop science. So at each session, at each episode, I hope that you will be able to go back to this episode and look at, ito pala yung reason kung ba't kailangan natin yon or what. So I will be discussing more on the different crops. We will have different discussions on special production practices. We will also have discussions on specific crops. Ayan, kung ano yung mga kailangan nilang interventions. And I hope that when we go there, you will just reflect back on this first 3 episodes and learn kung bakit nga ba kailangan ang identification, classification based on morphology and anatomy. So that's it for this episode. See you in the next episode.